My first job was as a domestic with Mrs. Britt, Mark Britt. Of course, I feel like Miss Britt was the meanest woman I ever did know. She did not like us, but my mother said she's an adult. You're learning to make a living. You're not going to do this all of your life, so deal with it. And I did. And I had money to ride the bus my 12th grade year because there was no bus transportation because we had a school in Winter Garden. So I learned from Miss Britt, and I'll tell you a funny story. I've never liked cooking. And so one day I was having Miss Britt cook. And I was taking something out of the oven. And when I grow up, I'm going to have me a maid. That's what I said. Oh, Miss Britt laughed. And anytime her white friends came to visit, Annie said when she grew up she was going to have a maid. And everybody laughed because I guess that was a black person. So sometimes I don't have a full-time maid. But every now and then I get somebody to come and clean my house for me. And I say, I really wish Miss Britt was living now so she could see this. But it was, a little funny story, something that I think back to. But I live in Maitland now, but Winter Garden I love. I will always love Winter Garden. I'm a member of the Bethlehem Baptist Church, so I come over here every Sunday to church. I drive through the streets of Winter Garden, and my heart is heavy because I see so many young people, just standing around doing nothing. And I'm thinking, what can I do? We all have something that we can give. And sometimes they say, if you can only touch one person, you've done a good deal. Right now I'm thinking of touching all of them. I just want to talk to them and tell them the importance of going to school and getting your education. That's what this world is going to need. And if you don't, you're going to be left out. We need to have somebody to come into Winter Garden and revamp, some kind of redevelopment in Winter Garden. So we have stores, and it would be fun driving down Center Street, the street we grew up with. But thinking of Center Street, I've been thinking, and I've been talking to citizens of the East community about renaming some of the streets after our forefathers, the men who have really worked and went through the mill for the black children, for the black people. It would be good to honor them. Center Street, men like the Hope brothers. They had the businesses there. The Bowlers, Mr. Bowler, he took the boys down. Mr. Bursong, he was Boy Scouts. I mean, our little black boys don't even have a Boy Scout leader now. Things like that. The Johnsons, Joe Johnson, he worked with the schools, got the kids out of trouble, helped to move the elementary school from the place on Center Street. I think the school was moved from Center Street to Magnolia. Mr. Johnson, along with my daddy, Mr. Joe King, Mr. Dyson, all of these people have made marks, and I think they need to be remembered. So this is one of my goals for Winter Garden. Charles King, and it was not any petty police position. He went to school, he studied, he was a full-fledged policeman, and there were times his life was threatened. He went through it. People went through a lot of things, and we can still make Winter Garden a wonderful place for all to enjoy. I work with the Winnegarden Heritage Foundation, and they are doing a good job bringing out some of the stories of the blacks. They honored the King family in February of this year, February 2012, and they will be doing some more honoring of African Americans, let their stories be told. And I think once we know each other's stories, we can accept each other, for who they are.